Hi, I'm Ken Bikoff. This is Mike Pegram. We're out the baseball stadium right now, but the Hoosiers are going to be, a basketball team is going to be traveling to Maryland to take on the Terrapins. Now, Mike, a couple weeks ago, Indiana played Maryland here in Assembly Hall, 89-70 win, handled them pretty well. Going out there now, what do you really expect out of Maryland?
Well, I think they can have a little chip on their shoulder. They got embarrassed a little bit here. It was probably Indiana's best game of the season. I mean, probably unquestionably their best Big Ten game of the season. They shot the lights out. It was the best crowd of the year. Really played well and just took it right to the Terps right from the beginning and went away. You know, it's the only game that they've won this year that was in double digits or more. So, but you know, Maryland's right there near the top of the standings, tied with Indiana, so you know they've got some talent and we're really ready for them tomorrow night.
It's the best way, basically, for Indiana to get off this roller coaster that they've been on the road, to where they've played well at home or at least picked up wins at home, but they've struggled a little bit on the road. How do they kind of get off of that?
Well, I mean, they have to guard better. The defensive field goal rate is like 48% or so in Big Ten, which is really high. I think they rely a lot on the three-pointers, so you're going to have a little bit up and down with that team, the drive and dish. But they got a lot of firepower. They guard a little bit better. They get more size now with Hunter back in the lineup, Hunter Perea, and they just have to focus a little bit more on the defensive end if they want to really string together some victories.
And speaking of Hunter, Tom Crean talked a little bit today about how he and Colin Hartman might play together a little bit. Mike, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they've had some success with five-man out because there's nobody in the middle to interrupt a drive, to get in the way, and all five guys that they start have the ability to drive the ball and shoot a little bit. And we put Hunter in the lineup again, and that he's not a guy who can shoot the ball that well. So does that interrupt that? Obviously he can guard a bigger man and prevent some looks inside for the other team, but he can play, I think, alongside Colin a little bit because Hartman really is a guard or a small forward. And so I think they can play those two together, and Tom Crean confirmed that today when we talked to him and asked him about that. And Perea's still getting his rhythm back. And I don't know if he'll play a lot tomorrow, but he is going to play a little bit more, and they need him. Maryland's got some size. Not great size, but pretty long on the wing positions with Lehman and Trimble and so forth, and some of the freshmen they have are pretty good, and so they really could use him for some key minutes tomorrow.
Maryland's going to be a challenge on the road, but then maybe the road gets a little bit easier for the Hoosiers. They have 4 out of their last 6 at home. The last 2 road games are at Rutgers and at Northwestern. Your thoughts on just basically the stretch after Maryland?
Well, the road games are teams near the bottom, Rutgers and Northwestern, so you think that Indiana could pull those games out. The home games are some of the better teams, Iowa, Michigan State, to finish the year. A Minnesota team that's playing better, and we all know what happened when Indiana played Purdue and the Boilermakers come back for their return visit. So all these games are, win or losable kind of games after this, but there's no insurmountable type situations like at Wisconsin or even at Michigan State, or a huge crowd that's going to be really anti-IU like at Purdue. So they could go on a real nice run here, but it's a fragile situation. You could go the other way. So that's going to make it really interesting. And really the most difficult game is this game at Maryland because that's a talented team. Trimble's a tremendous freshman, and Lehman's probably going to get a first-round pick in the NBA someday soon here. And so they have a big challenge, and they can really, I think, finish it well if they get the defense going again, which is the one thing they have to overcome.
Yeah, that's always the biggest question, but Indiana faces a challenge at Maryland. It's certainly a team that they looked good against a couple of weeks ago, and then it's back at home, and for the stretch run, it'll be an interesting finish to the season. So for Mike Pegram, I'm Ken Bikoff. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody.